name's Will Miller, and I was his small group leader the past couple months. I was also his roommate, so I got to spend about the past year of my life with him, and it's had a huge impact on me. It really has. Ryan was a guy who, I don't know, I have a hard time kind of like connecting with people sometimes. Like, on the surface I can, but getting deep in relationship with people is kind of hard for me sometimes. I could probably say I have 2 or 3 people that I'm really, really close to that I tell everything, and Ryan was one of those people. I was telling his uncle that Ryan is one of those guys that had like 10 people around him that would probably say that he was one of their best friends. And like, not many people can say that most of us would probably say, we have 1 or 2 people that say, oh, that's my best friend, or that person's really close to me. But Ryan had a ton of people that way. They could say, man, that guy I was close to him. Like, he had a huge impact. He's one of my best friends. And that was an amazing quality about him that he had. I'm just going to share some stuff that Ryan, the effect that he had on me. I know he had an effect on everybody, but I'm going to just talk about how he had an effect on me and how I observed him having an effect on others. Some of the privileges I had, just being his roommate and stuff, was I got to see him walk out his faith. Have hard challenges in it. That when he was up, when he was down, I got to see that. I got to be there for him. It was really good. I got to see, I got to have many conversations with him. In the morning, I'd always wake up in the morning. We'd always have our morning talk before work and school. And then in the evening, I'd almost every evening get a chance to have a deep conversation with him. And I cherish those. Those are great. We talked about our faith. We talked about everything. We just laughed and joked. He's hilarious. He was a funny guy. I had the pleasure to meet many quality people that are here tonight through Ryan that I would have probably never met. Awesome people, and I cherish that. I cherish those relationships I got to meet people through him with. I had the privilege of having a constant reminder that I'm going bald and my hair is going gray through Ryan. He was a constant reminder. He loved to tell me that. He always made me out to be an old man. I was like, Ryan, I'm like 2 or 3 years older than you. Stop it. But it was funny. He always knew how to just kind of get at you and make you laugh and just make you tick a little bit. Too. Like, stop telling me how old I am. But others knew him too. Others I got to see the God that lived inside of Ryan. That many of you in the community that got to see Ryan and didn't walk out his faith with him so much, you get to see that side of him. You still saw the God inside of him that was loving you and making you laugh and, I don't know, inviting you to church sometimes. So I know that many of you are here tonight because of the person that he was, because of the God inside him and the God that changed him. Mike Wall, a good friend of his, said at his funeral last weekend, I thought it was really good. He said, many of his friends knew him prior to him knowing Jesus, but the ones that missed out on seeing him the last 2 years of his life really missed something special. And I had the privilege of knowing Ryan the last 2 years of his life, but something really changed. Something really changed him, that he would tell you that by laying down his life, Ryan never checked his brain at the door. He was always a student of the Bible. He would always struggle through things. He didn't take to those things easily. There's hard areas, and he didn't check his brain at the door. He brought his hard questions, but when it came time to lay things down in faith before his Lord, he did it. And I love that about him. Many of you didn't get to see Ryan. You got to see him laugh and joke and bring joy to your life and all those sorts of things. But a lot of times you didn't get to see him behind the scenes like I did at the apartment, where I get to see him on his knees praying hardcore for his friends that he loves so much that they may come to know Jesus. I got to see him pacing back and forth in his room one night. This is actually just about 2 weeks ago. We were having a barbecue at our house, and I walk upstairs, and Ryan's just pacing back and forth, and I can tell he's stressed. I know when Ryan's stressed, he starts pulling his hair. And I'm like, what's going on, man? He goes, I'm having a barbecue, and there's some underage people here, and I don't want to tell them they can't drink here, but he was trying to be the upright man of God. He was trying to do things right, to be a good leader, to try to be there. And he was struggling through that so hard because he loved his friends so much. He wanted them to see a cool guy that was genuine, a genuine Christian, not a judgmental one. And he struggled through that really hard. And I just, being a small group leader, I mean, I got a challenge in that area. I was like, good luck with that. I wanted to take the ball for him. I wanted to take it. I wanted to go down there and do it for him so that someone may not think something bad about him or go, man, why did Ryan say that to me? But it was good for me. He went and did it. People loved him through it. People loved him through it. I think it spoke leaps and bounds of how upright he was in those areas. Ryan, the people that I met and just the people in our community, what Ryan struggled through with, like as Steve said earlier, was how do we come before a perfect judge? How do we have that right standing? And Ryan got that he wasn't persuaded by the rhetoric of the world. He wasn't persuaded by the good works gospel is kind of what you call it. The living a good life, living, being a good person. He didn't buy it. He knew there was more. And that's hard to say. That's hard to take. But he got it. And because he got that, because he knew that life came through Jesus, because he laid down his life, when hard times came, he put him before his Lord in faith, God changed him. That's what changed him. That's what did it. It's as simple as that. And the last entry in his journal states this. It's about grace and obedience. My Christianity is not all about feeling God or performing well. It is simply about accepting his grace and mercy and faith and then being obedient with what he has given. It's as simple as that. That's what changed him. He knew that he'd fallen short. He knew that it was through Jesus that he got right. I'll share one last story before I go. That a few of his friends and I, the night of his death, we were praying. And we were praying for God to bring him back. And we weren't praying that because we wanted Ryan back. Yeah, we wanted Ryan back. Of course we did. We missed him. But we prayed that God would get his glory in this community. That God would get his glory. That something huge would happen. That we could see something miraculous happen. From this, I see that Ryan's life just living made a huge impact and probably didn't need to raise him back up to do that. Because Ryan got your attention and a lot of people saw God through him. But as we were praying, I felt God just speak to my heart. I felt him say, bringing back Ryan would get their attention. But if you tell them about my death and my resurrection, I will change their life. So that's what I say today. That's what I boldly say. And I know Ryan held to that. He held to that. Jesus is the only way. That's the only way that you can get right standing. And that's why he's there today. So I boldly say that today. Just as I was telling God, I'll boldly go out and say, it was God that raised him up. I'll boldly say that it was God that changed his life. And it's God that can change all of our lives if we will allow him. And Ryan held on to that. And I just ask that the same be said of us.